The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Farmers Bank and Capital Trust, Kentucky Utilities, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
Hello, welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball with Doug Flynn, my co-host. And Doug, you know, on this show we try to bring in teams from around the state that do great things. And one of the guys that we really like, John Hines, the coach of Pulaski County. You know, it's state semifinals, so what's that mean?
That means that there's probably only 4 teams left
right.
in each class, and so they've had a pretty good year. You know, Somerset's got a very soft spot in my heart because I went to school down there in college. That's where I signed my professional contract. So I'm always a Somerset fan and a friend of Pulaski County.
Yes, exactly. Pulaski County. They're in the state Final Four. They take on South Oldham Friday night, so Coach is in with us. And also, our feature is kind of interesting. You know, it's Thanksgiving, so what does that tells us? You got to be thankful, right?
Well, we do. We got some great comments from some of our athletes, and that's why Rick Panel in here, because he happens to be going to the parade or went to the parade. And they said we can locate him because he'll be the only family in Speedos. So it'd be great to look for that.
That's right. It is a Panel Swim Shop. They got to be in Speedos, don't they? And also our scholar athletes, well, one of our own, Elizabeth Lyon. She's an outstanding young lady, 4.0 student. She interns on the show. She also is a great soccer player at Boyle County.
Hey, she might be too smart to be doing this show with us. You know that.
And Daniel Mink is in from Pulaski 4.0. We got another great Sutherland Chevrolet drive of the week. Julian Tackett is in from the KHSAA. Also, Bianca Grimshaw makes her debut on the show from UK Sports Medicine.
That'd be good. Glad Rob's always bringing some talent over here.
All that coming up on the show, but let's get to the best highlights in the state of Kentucky with Game Time. Brian Milam and Lee K. Howard. These highlights brought to you by P-Rats.
We start with the Monster 6A matchup right here in the city. Last time Scott County and Lafayette played, a weather delay and then confusion late in the night caused Scott County to forfeit a home game against the Generals, despite leading on the scoreboard. So tonight, the rematch, the one we've all been waiting to see, in this one for the right to play for a title. Lafayette had the 7-6 lead in the first quarter. Scott County's Kendrick Hamilton takes the handoff. Watch him. He just patiently follows his blockers, and then he finds his seam, weaves his way in for the touchdown. Cardinals take the 13-7 lead. Late in the first, same score. Scott County strikes again. Jacob Burton, the human bowling ball, busts right up the middle. Goes untouched for the score, 20-7 Scott County. Lafayette had a big second quarter, though. Walker Wood connects with Matthew Guilfoy. Over the middle, bring the Generals within a touchdown. Following another Scott County score, Lafayette scores once more before halftime. Wood calls his own number, dives in for the 1-yard touchdown. It was 27-20 at halftime. You gotta take a picture, it'll last longer. It was an unreal finish in this one, though, as Lafayette holds on to beat Scott County. Scott County elected to go for 2, did not get it, and Lafayette wins the game 48-47. The Generals are headed back to state.
Welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. Of course, our team of the week. We want to thank Bob Roberts Insurance. They're out in Richmond, Kentucky. Roberts Insurance. They've been in business for 40 years. And, Doug, they insure 3/4 of this great state of Kentucky.
They do a great job.
Tremendous job, the Roberts Insurance guys. Coach John Hines with us from Pulaski County. Coach, I always appreciate you taking out your time. It's Thanksgiving week, so what that means is you got to practice on Thanksgiving, but also that means you're in the state Final Four. What is your recipe for success there at Pulaski County?
Well, I don't know if there's.
Is there a secret sauce?
If there was, we'd bottle it and sell it. No, our success is just based on having good players.
Yeah.
These guys beside me are just an outstanding group of young men and good football players, hard workers, overachievers, and we've got a whole lot just like this, and that's what makes us all look good.
Why don't you tell us just a little bit about each one of these guys then?
Well, the first one here is named Jake Johnson's a wide receiver who's a Mr. Football candidate. He holds several all-time state records in receiving, and has had an incredible career. Cullen Cox, 57, also has had an incredible career. Interesting thing about these two guys, they started as freshmen, and they've played in every single game we've ever played. So this weekend will be game 59 in their high school career.
Is that a record?
Which is an amazing thing. Well, I think 60 is all you could have. So
That's right.
to get that far, it's got to tie a record of some sort.
Right.
Jackson Mobley on the end is number 8. It's an outside linebacker, and he's our version of a miniature Lawrence Taylor.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's start with the record setter, Jake Johnson. And Jake, are you happy? I'm going to throw you a little curveball. Are you happy that the record is staying? I think the other record holder, Cole, I believe, was from your area too. Are you happy about that?
It's cool to think about. John Cole was a great receiver. I watched him growing up, actually. So breaking his record and keeping it in the community is a big-time thing. And it's whenever people open the record book and see the top 2 guys from Somerset, Kentucky. So it's a great accomplishment for both of us.
And you got a 2-pronged question. What do you attribute to the great teams you have at Pulaski County?
I think my hard-working ability. Every practice and every rep, I give it my best, and I think that carries over into the game.
Right.
Yeah, that can be contagious
Yes.
too, as you well know.
Yeah.
Colin, they say offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships. So tell us a little bit about your defense and the strength of it.
Well, we have a lot of returning players, and there's a lot of veterans on the field, and everybody there has played in a state championship game except for 2, because those are freshmen. So we have a strong group returning, so that's why. Strong defense.
Yes.
That helps, doesn't it?
And Jackson, you're one of the leading tacklers on the team. I know, is it Maxey?
Ricky Maxey.
Ricky Maxey has like some unbelievable number of tackles, like 166, something like that. It's incredible, like 15 a game or so. I don't even want to do that math. But, as one of the leading tacklers on the team, obviously you have a high motor. I like to call guys like you ball hawks, okay, because you're always around the football. Where does this come from for you?
I mean, I've just kind of been inspired because everyone, Lawrence Taylor, Ray Lewis, they're big, meaty guys. I'm a 5'7" white boy, so I mean, I like proving a point and showing that I can be out there with the best of them.
Obviously, you have a good nose for the football, though. That certainly helps.
All right, Coach, you're practicing on Thanksgiving. What's the last words you're going to give your guys before you play South Oldham this Friday?
Well, that might be a secret. We can't tell that. It's a thrill and an honor to be able to extend our season this long. It's fun to go out on Thanksgiving and still be playing football.
Best of luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.
And as we look at some great highlights there and we wrap it up, Coach, I got to say, very impressed with the young men you bring into the Scholastic Ball Report. Just the quality of young men you have there at Pulaski County. It's a credit to you. It's a credit to these young men. It's a credit to their families because, it's one thing to have a good football team, but it's one thing to be great people.
Well, I appreciate that. We always appreciate the opportunity to come. These are just a sampling of the young men we have at Pulaski County. We're proud of all of them.
Well, thanks, guys. And
good luck, fellas.
Yeah, good luck. In the
I'll see
Final
you Friday
Four.
night.
That's right.
And now we're going to this great feature as Brian Milam talks to some of the great players around the area and what they're thankful for here at this happy time of Thanksgiving. Brian?
I give thanks for my family, my teammates. This is not just a football team. They're my family, my brothers. I give thanks for my coaches, the managers, everybody who supports the Admirals.
Well, first thing, it's my family. I'm so thankful for them. And then secondly, it's Scott County football. I love Scott County football more than anything, and I'm just thankful to be a part of such a great program.
Still being 18 years old and being blessed with the ability to do everything I love every day. Come to school, see my friends, my family, and football, and it's just great. And a lot of people don't get the opportunities that we all get out here getting to play this game. So it's a lot of fun, and this is like family out here. And so really just the biggest thing, I'm thankful for family.
For me, I mean, I've honestly couldn't have been more blessed in what I've been able to do. Just the opportunity to be here and have my own sons on the team and coach them in a setting that's been successful as we've been. It really is what every high school coach dreams about.
Being a high school coach, I think, is very, very special. You have a chance to kind of mold and help in the transition into manhood with these young men. So I'm grateful for that opportunity every day that I come to work.
I'm thrilled to have a great family and a great wife and children, and I'm just living a blessed life.
Hello, welcome back to the Scholastic Ball Report. We have two wonderful scholar athletes, Elizabeth and Daniel. First question's for Elizabeth. Elizabeth, you competed on a top-level soccer team and maintain a 4.0. What keeps you rooted in school and at home?
Definitely my teammates and my coaches and like my parents and my brother. They give me great support and they always push me to be my best.
And Daniel, you know, you have a 4.0 as well and play one of the top football programs in the state in Pulaski County. How do you maintain this excellence, this level in all phases and facets of your life?
I get a lot of inspiration from my family and my coaches, and my teachers especially in school. They help me maintain such a high grade level.
Yeah, those teachers are so inspiring, aren't they, when you got a teacher that just really focuses in and makes you hone in. You know that.
Elizabeth, you intern here at the Scholastic Ball Report, and you'll be going to Western next year. What are your plans?
Definitely broadcasting is something that's on my list, and I've had a great experience here, so I'm definitely looking into that, and also looking into going pre-med and possibly majoring in biology.
And Daniel, you've got a couple of Ivy League schools looking at you. I understand Princeton and Yale, right?
Yeah.
Two pretty good schools.
Absolutely.
I must say. I didn't apply to either one of those schools. I guess an error on my part. But anyway, how does it make a young man from Kentucky feel knowing that you can compete with academically the best of the best?
It makes me feel like anything is possible. You know, if you put in the work, then you're going to get results. I'm blessed to get what I have. So.
Elizabeth, are you planning on playing soccer at all at Western?
I will definitely focus. I thought about it, but I'll focus on my studies, and it'll be hard parting from soccer, but definitely going to take the next step in life. So.
What about you, Daniel? What will you pursue academically in college? And you mentioned your teachers. Who has influenced you the most in class here at Pulaski County?
I'm probably going to pursue a pre-medical track, probably major in biology, and Miss Wilson, my biomedical teacher, has inspired me tremendously.
Yeah, right. Well, we've got the plaques there, and they're from Crown Trophy. Take those over there, or mail that over there, and they'll put your name and school on there for free. Thank you all very much. Keep up the great work at Pulaski. Keep up the great work at Boyle County. That's our Scholar Athletes, the most popular segment on this show that we've been doing for 14 years because it highlights academics. Now we're going to the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week as we head down 27 to see Sutherland Chevrolet.
It's time to take a look at the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week. We go to Paintsville, Kentucky, home of the Johnson Central Golden Eagles. Jordan Blanton, one of the best shortstops in the state of Kentucky, is also a pretty darn good receiver. Look at the catch over the defender. Goes 78 yards for the touchdown. Johnson Central wins 51-0 over Wayne County. They're going back to the 5A state finals, thanks in large part to the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Welcome back to the Scholastic Ball Report, our UK sports medicine orthopedic surgery segment. And in with us is Bianca Grimshaw. Great to have you back on the show. Unfortunately, the only show I've ever missed was the last time you were here. So I apologize for that, but I had bronchitis. But glad you're back.
Glad you feel better.
Thank you. We're going to talk about cross training. What is cross training?
So cross training is a mix between cardiovascular fitness, strength training, and a little bit of agility and flexibility training as well. So a mix of trying to get all of those things to create the most well-rounded athlete.
Sounds like something you'd be good at, cross training.
So what are the benefits of cross training?
So by being a cross-trained athlete, you're focused on more than just what your sport-specific activity is. So if you think about it, if you're a runner, you're really focused on just that cardiovascular component. But if you're looking at from an injury perspective and the mechanics of running, if you happen to hit a pothole, if you've done strength training and you've done other things like neuromuscular control and agility to train your muscles, then you'll be able to correct yourself in a running stance and then maybe not roll an ankle. So there's these little things that help with the mechanics of whatever your sport may be, or say for basketball, being able to have the agility and the cardio for running up and down the court more so than just practicing shooting. So there's a lot of benefits just for each sport specifically.
So what type of exercises increase cross-training benefits?
So it depends again on that sport. So if you're looking at flexibility, you could do something like yoga or Pilates. If you're looking for the cardiovascular fitness, you could do running or swimming or other things that increase your heart rate.
Cross training is just great stuff, and I like that pothole analogy too. Stay out of those potholes.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Thank you very much, Bianca. We'll put up their website and their phone number, UK Sports Medicine. They will keep you in the game. Great stuff, Bianca. Look forward to seeing you back on the show. And that's our UK Sports Medicine segment. Now we're going to these final highlights. Of course, it was Final Four football action of Game Time. Here's Brian Milam and Lee K. Howard for Game Time.
In Class 2A, Covington Holy Cross upset Newport Central Catholic, while Danville ended LCA's perfect season a week ago, setting up tonight's matchup. First time since the 2003 and 2004 seasons, the Admirals have been in back-to-back state semifinals, and the Admirals marching on with a thrilling win, 42-35. It was back and forth the whole way. The Admirals with Clay Clevenger running the ship. They're going to the ship, 42-35. Congratulations.
How about in Class 5A, Pulaski County searching for its fourth straight trip to the state finals. Only South Oldham standing in the way. The Dragons strike first as Tanner Salmon connects deep to Keenan John for the score. It was 7-0. And then after another Dragon touchdown, the field goal, Pulaski County's Ricky Maxey cuts into the lead, made it 17-7. South Oldham would respond right back as Salmon connects to Drake Silcox. That's a 41-yard touchdown. It was 24-7. The Maroons would score again, and yes, they would right here. Jacob knew he would tack on another touchdown to bring them within 3, 24-21. Talk about a back-and-forth game as the Maroons go on to complete the comeback and get the win in a defensive struggle, you can tell, 62-55.
And welcome back. Of course, our great interns, that's what makes this show. You know, we started this, Doug, 14 years ago. And when we started, it said we want to emphasize academics. We also want to have high school kids. You got to have high school kids on a high school show.
Well, you know, a lot of people are interested in getting to the broadcast business as well as learning to speak in front of a camera. This is a perfect opportunity, I think. How about you?
You know, I agree. It's, you know, how many high school kids get an opportunity to, you know,
work
sit
with
on
a star like
exactly.
Gary Ball.
Like Doug Flynn.
I know, man.
Mr. Flynn. Mr. Children's Charity. Raised, what, $12 million now?
We've raised a lot of money for kids right here, man.
You do a fantastic job with that. And he does the Cincinnati Reds shows. He does his own KET program. And I watched that the other day. That's a good
See, I learned a lot because when I was in middle school and used to watch you on television, I'd say, I want to grow up and be just like Gary.
And you know, all kidding aside, Miss Lyons from Boyle County, the state football championships, can you believe it? They're next week in Bowling Green. You're going to go to Western Kentucky, so maybe you need to roll on down to Bowling Green and check it out next week.
I might just have to do that.
And of course, Pulaski County was on the show. They're a team that's been in the state championship several times, and they've won a state title. They got to beat South Oldham, and in 5A Bowling Green, the Purples are a team coached by Kevin Wallace, and that's a team that a lot of people talk about. You know, there's 6 classes now, Doug, and I don't know what your thoughts are about all that, but 6 state champions will be crowned next weekend in Bowling Green.
Yeah, leave that to the experts that know more about that than I do. The one thing I do know, it's a great time of year if you're a fan. You got football playoffs, pro football, basketball. It's just a great time to be a fan.
Well, as we said, of course, one intern, Brantley is out tonight, Mr. Akey, but he'll be back with us next week. He goes to Henry Clay. He's a young man we enjoy working with, too, on this show. Thanks to all of our great guests from Pulaski County, Boyle County, and that great feature from Brian Milam on all those players and what they're thankful for. As we always say on the Scholastic Ball Report, for those you see and those you don't see,
keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report was sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Farmers Bank and Capital Trust, Kentucky Utilities, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.